hit that like or the dislike and hit the subscribe button. What is up, gang? It's Look at the Trees. It's time for a brand new Pastor Blaster. And we will have Buster Seaton. Buster Seaton, BS, the initials for bullshit. So we'll start it like we always do with a rip and a sip. And first, I'd like to thank Ryan and all the XJ-dubs over at Apostate Coalition. They're a bunch of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. They are just getting out of their high control cult religion, and I'd like y'all to go give them some support if you can. So we'll start this one like we always do, with a rip and a sip. Let's start this BS on the small screen.
His inheritance when we're weary, and he'll send that plentiful rain.
So according to old Buster here, whenever you are weary or tired or weak, he will send the rain, which I am assuming signifies help or, something like that. Remember that.
I must leave as soon as the service is over. The young man that they were talking about that died, Brother Joe Porterfield, he's a member of my church, a member of the church that I attend. A lot to be said there. That young man, just 19 years old. He had just surrendered to preach the gospel, and he had just been to a camp meeting, was coming home night before last, and he fell asleep just a few miles.
Sounded weary and in need of plentiful rain.
He hit a telephone pole, killed him instantly. And 2 years ago, his granddaddy was preaching in a camp meeting and fell over dead while he was preaching, Brother A.J. Porterfield. Just less than about 6 months ago, his nephew, another Porterfield, had a wreck on a motorcycle, paralyzed him from the neck down.
All right, gang. There is a metric fuck ton of bullshit to unpack right there. First off, he started off with the when you're weary, God will send the rain, plentiful rain to wake you up or whatever the fuck. And then he goes right into a story where a 19-year-old kid coming home from Bible camp, from church camp, from Jesus camp, falls asleep at the wheel and slams into a fucking telephone pole and dies instantly. Then he tells us a story of that dude's grandfather dying mid-sermon in the pulpit. Then he goes on to tell us about that dude's fucking nephew that gets in a motorcycle wreck and gets paralyzed from the fucking neck down. What more of a goddamn sign do you need that you're preaching the wrong fucking message from the wrong fucking God than there is a deity that's trying to assassinate 3 generations of your fucking family?
We know how that Christ has been crucified here and how that he's been buried. And we know that he's going to arise. We know that he's going to get up. And we know that he's going to triumph over death, hell, and the grave. But did you know none of the apostles and none of the disciples ever comprehended that message?
But you did, huh, Buster? You comprehended the message. But you're going to claim knowledge on what fictional characters in a fictional story fucking knew. That would be like me saying that Joe Pesci's character in Casino, or not Casino, Goodfellas, Joe Pesci's character in Goodfellas, whenever he was going to get made and he walked in there and he wasn't really getting made and they shot him, well, he actually knew that was going to happen, and he was just going along with God's plan, and he had to be sacrificed for the betterment of the fucking crime family. Because I know what Joe Pesci was thinking in those moments. No, motherfucker, I don't know what a fictional character was thinking in a fictional story, and neither do you, you motherfucker. This is like the second time he said something about being nervous. This dude was like famous among Southern Baptist preachers back in the fucking day when this shit was filmed. So for him to be saying he's nervous will humanize him to these little fanboys that are sitting there watching, I think is what he's doing.
How his body was laid. spices and ointments and rested the Sabbath day according to the commandment.
And let's take a moment to ponder how fucking stupid the idea that an all-powerful deity needs to make a Sabbath, a day of rest. An all-powerful deity needs to rest. That in itself means the deity is not all-powerful. Is that plain enough for you fuckers to understand?
Now, from the time in chapter 23 that they saw the Lord's body laying there, till you come to chapter 24, you remember the scribes and Pharisees, they went unto Caesar and they said, we remember what this deceiver saith. We remember that. And so we want you to set a watch and to set a guard.
And as us veterans know, all guards that are on guard duty never fall asleep and they never get killed while on guard duty. That shit never happens. Don't even think about it.
And on the way to the sepulcher that morning, I believe the women were saying to themselves, who will roll away the stone?
Yeah, because once again, they're just weak little feeble women. They couldn't even dream of moving a stone. There ain't no such thing as no strong women. Come on now.
Lord Jesus. And it came to pass as they were much perplexed. And notice that they were not happy, they were not rejoicing, they were not shouting. But the Bible said it came to pass as they were much perplexed. They tell me this word means to be at a loss mentally.
Well, fuck yeah, you should know plenty about this. Go off, King.
They're thinking, we saw him laying here, but where is he now? Yeah. And the Bible said, as they were much perplexed thereabout, behold, two men stood by them in shining garments. And as they were afraid and bowed down their faces to the earth, they said unto them, why seek ye the living among the dead?
It's more likely if this story was actually real. Those shiny fucking people or whatever that were supposed to be fucking sky fairies or angels or whatever the fuck. What's more likely, that those weren't actually sky fairies and they were just people that probably stole the body, and then they told the ladies like, oh no, yeah, he rose from the dead. What's more likely, the motherfucker stole the body, or he poofed up to a magic realm in the sky?
Which told these things unto the apostles. And their words seemed to them, that is to the apostles, as idle tales. That simply means an incredible story. This is something, you know what they're probably saying. These men are saying, well, you know how women are. You know how women are prone to carry things further than that. They're ecstatic, you know. Man, they're all excited. And it seemed to them as idle tales.
Yeah, fellas, am I right? You know how women are. They're all the time wandering off into the fucking wilderness, finding some ancient Hebrew tomb with a fucking stone either in the way, out of the way, not there, angels sitting on it, in it, around it, whatever the fuck, it don't matter. You know, they're always making shit up like this. They're always, you know, they can't keep track of their
Women
fucking
are always
savior.
making up
They
that
can't keep
shit.
track of him.
It wasn't
was
like
he in the tomb? Was he out of the tomb? Is his clothes there? Were they not there? Is it a fucking, what
about
is it?
this fucking
And
savior
then they're
that
always,
was born
wait,
of a
what?
virgin,
Men
and
wrote this book.
you know, was later
Men
on
wrote
sacrificed
this here
for
book
humanity,
that I'm talking
and then
about, that I'm
died,
saying
and
that
then
women
rose
do
from
this
the
shit
dead
here,
and poofed up to
they
heaven.
don't do that
It ain't
shit.
like
It is that. Men did write that book about that shit. Oh. All right, gang. That will wrap up Pastor Blaster 16.0 with motherfucking BS bullshit Buster fucking Stearns. What the fuck did I say his name is? Buster fucking Statham. Buster Statham. Motherfucker. I can't remember his name. That's how important the motherfucker is. And I'll leave you like I always do, gang, with a rip and a sip. Peace out, gang.